This show was our #1 show of the season in views, engagement, comments, you name it. The recruiting spectacular. I got 3 great guests with me. Welcome back to the Cole Mantell Show, everybody. I'm Cole Mantell. I'm joined by 3 great ADs who are definitely not in the DMs of a bunch of recruits right now. I do this intro. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the show, Justin Duke, Beard, aka the Auburn AD, with his big orange Auburn shirt. But he's not the only guy with an Auburn shirt. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man, dude. I'm stoked to be here. If you're watching this and you see me looking away a lot, don't think I'm ignoring anybody.
Texting.
We're actively in the hunt.
You landed a few big guys too. We'll get into that. I'll even pull this over here on my other screen just so I can see it. We got another guy wearing an orange shirt. I'll go next to you, Logan Wetzel, AD for Clemson. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. Thank y'all for having me. Loving what I'm seeing so far out of this recruiting class. Big fan of already of all these individuals. It's going to be an awesome season.
So, you just like the Twitter. I see that. Gives me a lot of quick updates on this. Pretty good. One more AD to introduce. Texas A&M AD went to the national championship. Won't stop talking about it in the pregame show. How you doing, Kade Padgett?
I'm doing good, man. And just like Beard, if you see me over here like this, I got 2 screens going right now. I got about 6 unread DMs from recruits, so we are actively working.
If I remember correctly, because we've been in a group chat for the last week or so after we had to cancel the show last week. Beard, what was it? 4 screens you have in your setup back there?
Yeah,
I don't think you're at that setup.
No. I'm upstairs, but my what I call the war room has 4 screens on it. So I've got on the far right, I have the ranking system. In the middle, I've got both our recruiting board and our current roster, or what we call our board room and our recruiting board. On the left, I have Cole Mantell's Twitter because it's always popping. And then far left is Discord where I can see everything coming up. But I usually use my phone for Discord. So technically, I guess I have 5 screens.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you include my phone for Twitter, it's 3 screens for me. What about you guys? How many screens you got, Wetzel?
Believe it or not, just 1. I'm living in 1998.
Slumming it.
Good old, what is it, Bowden era? Is it, what do you call it that?
He actually sent some of his recruits letters in the mail.
That may not actually be incorrect, but think of the intimacy, though. Like, man, you gotta get something in the mail.
Is it a recruiting violation if you sent it like 4 days ago, but it just got there today? So technically, it's after.
No, it is not a recruiting violation if you date the letter correctly. What about you, Kade?
So I got 2 laptops up right now. I got the laptop we're using for this call, which has a tab for Discord. I have my other laptop that I run Sims on that has 2 Discord tabs, two Google Sheets, the website, and then I have my desktop computer that has EA Sports College Football on it. So that way, while I'm waiting for recruits to message me back, I can be doing something.
I like that.
And then also, like Beard, I have my phone.
So when I have the game, I got a PS5. It's actually, so you guys can't see it on my office here because I'm moving. The whole office is a mess, as you can tell. The screen that I'm using for the call here, I got the cam here. The screen here, I have also plugged into my PS5. I can switch it. I have College Football 25. It's a lot of fun. I got recruited to Michigan. I have a sub 50% completion rate as the starter there in the Road to Glory. So I'm very realistic for a Michigan quarterback. It's great. And we'll see. We'll see how the season goes. Ooh, I love it when recruits DM me directly during the show for some drama.
Oh, who DMs you?
I'll say it's a quarterback, but it's not your quarterback. So I won't give you a heart attack. But it is a quarterback. It's not Clemson's quarterback either, actually.
Oh, so it's just not us drama?
No, but you guys have been great for drama from yesterday.
Yeah, no.
So the way that we did it last season, and I'll do it again this season, is we have it's different with the Twitter, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got about a dozen recruits that I've written down notes for that I have not posted on the Twitter that you can exclusively, because the Twitter is like a third of what I've been hearing, and then I have to verify a lot of it. I have some more stuff I can put onto the show. We can get to that. Or we can just talk about wild stories I've heard from recruits the last day or two.
I'd like to know if you have anything that you've heard about us that I may not know.
Oh, that's a bad question to ask. That's a really bad question to ask. Okay.
Here it comes. Hope you're ready.
He's pulling his notes up.
All right. Okay. So we can play that game, but who do I want to start with first?
You should start with Logan.
Why?
I don't
You
know.
don't even know what he's going to ask.
Because I heard you. I heard you cut females.
Wait, am I the only one in this call that has never played for Auburn?
Yes. Like, what do you expect, man? I'm an Auburn guy.
Season 20, SEC champ.
Yeah. Clemson. I don't have anything imminent for them. Obviously, we broke the story who your new quarterback is going to be next year. Congratulations on that. And that was on the
reference
Twitter.
to Clemson?
Pretty sure, right? Didn't we break No, we broke the story of your former QB, excuse me. Tavon Moss is going to LSU. That broke right before the show started. And then you guys also got the cornerback, Ziegler, number 28 overall of Bellefontaine, Ohio. That's a verbal. I don't have anything more. I think Clemson's probably the quietest of the three of us, three of the teams in this call.
That's
I
not.
don't know. I only got the two.
That's not helpful.
We have 5 scholarships to give, and we are choosing wisely. What can I say?
I can do
We've,
Texas A&M, maybe. Let's see.
I think
Oh,
we've got 10.
who's this guy? All right, this is a fun one. So this is in the transfer portal. We're going to stay in the transfer portal. Obviously, we're talking about King Demora. He verbaled, I believe, to Texas yesterday.
Okay.
We also have Akuma Hunter, linebacker. I have his top schools. He was able to DM me earlier. This is in no particular order, but because Auburn and A&M are on the list, I'll go for that one first. Auburn, A&M, and this is no particular order, and I can report as well. The other top schools for him are Oregon, Florida, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. So a total of 6. Again, Oregon, Florida, Auburn, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma for Akuma Hunter, junior transfer from LSU. So you got UADs get to know that first, which is the benefit of coming on to the Cole Mantell show. You get to know this. In this case, it's gonna be like a 6-hour heads up. I think we'll see how soon I get this onto the show, onto the what's it called, onto the interwebs.
Wait, so can you reread those top ones for me for just a sec?
Yeah, Akuma Hunter, his top 6: Oregon, Florida, Auburn, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. And the only particular order is going to be just what he literally DM'd me, that order. It's like I just copied and pasted it.
Love to see it.
All right. I had 2 recruits here. That's why I was laughing. DM me their top schools. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's go. I got another one I can do if we're going to stay in this Auburn A&M area. This is the only top 10 recruit that I think is still in a big competition. Monty Leake's also in a big competition, but I haven't said anything on that. So this is number 9, Maverick Berlin. I know a few of you guys are going after him. His top 4 right now: Auburn, Texas A&M, Miami, and UNC.
Is that in order, or is that just those?
No, he literally just no order. He DM'd me that list.
Okay.
So don't worry, Kade. As Beard panics.
Because I know the guys that we're going after, and of the ones.
So I can do a little dance real quick,
Of the ones on the top 10, he is probably, other than Frankie Frederick at tight end, he's probably the one that we're going after the hardest right now.
Interesting. So I haven't reported anything on number 4, Frankie Frederick, but obviously he's from New Braunfels. So yeah. Let's see here. Well, I mean, actually, speaking of the top 10, it was kind of interesting. The top 10 kind of just turned out pretty simple. Richard Williams II. I didn't even report anything on him until he verbal to Penn State. It looks like a solid verbal there. Good work for that crew. Up in State College, Bear Michaels, FSU verbal. That's Horns, who I have been told by sources in the SEC, there is an SEC team trying to flip him right now.
Who was
and
that
it's not.
again?
There's Bear Michaels, number 2 overall. He was, I think, number 3 yesterday. But yeah, there is an SEC team trying to flip
That's gonna be a
him.
hard flip. If you've ever tried to flip somebody from Tom, it's not easy.
Well, you say that, but Horns has a history. He has flipped from the last time he had a player. He flipped from Tom last minute. To
I
Penn
didn't
State.
think there were any SEC teams that needed a quarterback.
There is one. That's all I'm gonna say. There's one that's looking. And I'm not gonna say which one. Cohen James is Wookiees player. He's now the number 3 overall recruit. Frederick is Alley. No official offers yet. Berger, I think, is a coach from West Virginia. West Virginia's a. Ooh, you broke up there, Beard.
I was telling Kade, don't burn your brain out. He's trying to figure out who it is.
No, because I know the 7 teams that need a quarterback, and none of them are in the SEC.
Yeah,
So
there's one that's apparently looking still. Yeah, this team
unless
has an active.
somebody's looking for a quarterback to be a backup for a year.
Yeah, but that's gonna be interesting because based on the rules, you're not allowed to have 2.
Let's just say there is one team that has an active quarterback right now that is still actively recruiting him. I can report that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's hilarious.
Let's see. Hamilton Berger, I think, is either a West Virginia coach, but it is a verbal there. Alexa Earl, talked to her, not much yet. Matt Perez, nothing yet. Probably the quietest QB recruiting story right now is Matt Perez. I haven't heard anything about him yet. Spunky Tolbert, number 8. That was a fun one. He was, I think, like the number 2 recruit at some point, or number 3. And he's like, he literally texted me. He's like, I just got home. And then he opens up his Discord, and 30 minutes later, he was a Texas verbal. That was a wild one. From Susan Moore, Alabama, too. Maverick Berlin, we just talked about. Monty Leak, I think he DM'd me earlier, too.
So
yes,
Hamilton Berger, that's a Murph's player.
Yeah, I figured that was a coach.
Yeah.
I wish they would put that's the only change I would like to make is if you're a coach, I wish they would take them or put something on there like an asterisk or something so we know who they are. Because sometimes it's hard to balance especially when you're flipping through like 50 screens.
Yeah, because Cohen James is Wookiees player, Berger is Murph's player. So
there's a few others, yeah. And then it's not top 10, but I'll put this in here. JJ Stout, 10 offers. I think was the first offer of a top 10 player when he was up there. Or no, it was leaked. But he's probably the most heavily recruited player in the country right now is JJ Stout. I've heard every team I've talked to is trying to go after him. Let's see. Let's see. So for Leak, because this one's a fun one, he's still got a big offer list, including 2 of the teams in here. How many offers does he have? I just want to compare something.
Right now he's at 7 according to the website.
Oh, did it let me update it. No. Okay, so he's got 7 official offers, but I got 8 official teams listed all. For Monty Leak, I keep calling him Lucas Leak because that was his last player, right?
Yeah. I think so.
I'm just gonna go in the order that he gave me. No particular order. Florida State, North Carolina, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Auburn, Texas A&M, and Oregon. Those are the 8. And so, I mean, obviously we're talking about the players that you 2 are going after together, but Oregon on this list a few times. Like they've been on a lot of lists that I've talked about. I think I put it on the Twitter too. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, Oregon, their first commit was Kylan Odin, number 35, the halfback out of Marion, Illinois. I think they're going after a few more that I've talked about besides just this one. As you guys are furiously typing.
Well, I got a message back from someone that may or may not have already been mentioned on the show, so I gotta send him a message.
What is it? Is it Lucas or is it what's the other one?
Leak hit me back. One of my coaches has been working
Yeah.
hard on Leak, and he texted me this morning. He said, "Hey, you got to hit him up. Finish the
Well,
job."
he's got 8 teams. Yeah, 8 teams he's deciding, and he's cutting down his list today apparently.
According to what he just told me, we're on that list. So
Yeah, well,
fingers crossed.
Yeah. Ooh, here's one. I got this one's pretty recent too. I'll include this before we move on. Tight end recruit, 4-star. He is Haas Carter, I think is his name.
He's got an awesome name. He's been active in league chat too.
Yeah. Well, so Auburn's in a recruiting battle, but you want to know the 2 teams that Auburn's competing with, and it's kind of an interesting list. It's going to be Auburn with Penn State and Tennessee. I believe Tennessee is in his top 3. So talk about, Tennessee. They're going in different directions, but that would be a big pickup for them. So
It's really funny too, because the wide receiver, the first recruit to commit officially, I say officially on the website, was our wide receiver.
yes,
Ragnar.
talk about that.
And Ragnar is Penn State's tight end from last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was huge for us. I recruited Ragnar, not Ragnar, but I recruited him the first time when he was a tight end because I really needed one, and he ended up picking Penn State over us at Texas. But we had really good conversations, and for all the ADs out there, if you whiff on somebody, don't be mad. If you made a good connection, that'll come back, I promise. But that's what happened with him. We as soon as it opened, he was one of the first ones I messaged, and he was like, "Dude, I'm sold. Let's go." I mean, it was a 30-minute conversation, and he was like, "I'm in. Let's go."
Well, yeah, he is the first official verbal. I think I reported that. And you guys have picked up a few other people as well. But Talladega, Alabama, it was pretty obvious pretty quickly he wanted to stay in state. I would imagine Alabama would be the only one that was also competing for him, but he only got an offer from you, and he committed immediately. So
he never hit me back.
Yeah. The other one was Kelby Fulton out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, number 46 right now.
That was huge. And that was a hard sell because it's when you've got somebody on your staff like Scally already at running back, it kind of scares other running backs away. And I worked really hard on him and we had great conversations. And he was like, I just don't want to go somewhere where I fall away and never get used. And I was like, look, man, I forget what it was, but I think my backup halfback would have been a top 10 running back by touchdowns scored last year because he had 8. I was like, you get used. I was like, and I can promise you, we'll find you some special teams use. I'll make sure that you are in the game plan some way, somehow. But I was like, ultimately, I want you here because our conversations have been good. I don't care if you made a offensive lineman, although in this league, they'd probably go pretty fast. I don't care what you made. You're good people, and I'd like to have you in our locker room. And he was like, you know what? He was like, I've loved it. You've said the right things. Let's go. Let's do it. And so that was huge.
We'll move on to some recruiting wins for the rest of the guys in here. I'll start with Clemson. Just spend a minute. I think you only have one officially on the website. Am I correct on that, Logan? I know you're talking to a few others.
Yes, to my knowledge, based on what I've seen on the website, that is correct.
So talk about Xavier Ziegler, number 29. I know you're looking for some other big wins, but how about that recruit? Because that was also an early one yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, we're really, for the most part, pretty happy with our offense. Of course, we've got a quarterback we're zoned in on, and then we're interested in a potential halfback as well. My generational talent can play both sides of the ball. So really the investment this offseason is going to be on that defense. Ziegler, as y'all saw, very awesome defensive back, 4-star, like you said, out of Ohio. The staff, we felt really good with him. We got him in a room. We asked him really what he wanted, and he was very open with us about it. And just, had a great experience. And it seems like, really his rating is kind of underrated. I mean, based on, the really small number of defensive backs, I would say, in this draft or recruiting board, I'd say he was a little underrated. So excited to see what he can do out there on the field.
So it's funny you mentioned that. The guys that we had like the two position groups I mentioned, I think yesterday, that would be very competitive. Wide receiver, because there's not many 5-stars, and cornerback / safety. Every season, it's just always very competitive. So
Yes.
right now, I mean, I think we talked about it a minute ago. Where was it? Yeah, Maverick Berlin, cornerback, has 8 offers, and he's one of the most heavily recruited players in this league right now. So, yep, that's as a former AD, I know the struggle. I know the struggle, guys, trying to find those players.
Yes. So
Uh,
with the 5 scholarships, we're trying to use
yeah.
them wisely, and fortunately, we're able to put our eggs in just those 5 baskets, and we're able to get competitive with these competitive positions.
Sounds good. All right, Texas A&M. I know you guys landed your quarterback. That was a big one, and it's not the quarterback I think most people thought A&M was going to go after. What is he ranked now?
Who did most? He's right. He's the lowest ranked quarterback in the class.
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to go after either Tavon Moss as your top target or Spunky, I think was the other one that I think a lot of people were talking to me about with you.
Yeah. So I sent Spunky a message, and he DM'd me back after Streets had already committed to us, and I was like, sorry, buddy. Like, I'd love to take you, but we can't have 2 quarterbacks. And it was a good understanding. He was at the Conference USA, USA, their conference championship game. So we had a good talk, and between my coaches and I, we had decided that we wanted to go after Tavon Moss, and that was our guy, that was our target, until Malcolm Streets was active the way he was in chat and doing all these things. I said, you know what, that's the kind of guy that I want on the team. I want the activeness, I want the energy he's bringing. And I had my message typed up to him for about 10 minutes before the window even opened. And as soon as it opened, I sent it. And it was, you were the first message I sent. You were the one that we want. This is the guy that we want. And it was maybe an hour or two, and it was verbal, here we go.
So yeah, Streets definitely I think shot up boards late. That I did see that a lot. It was actually kind of surprising, not because quarterbacks are always going to be the top line recruit that starts a class. The headline of the class, but I definitely, when I was DMing not only you but like other sources at other teams, he was, for a moment, at least at the beginning of recruiting, the most heavily recruited quarterback, and he was all the way at the bottom of the list. So if that's not a lesson of how to win favor, like how to get DMs, is be active, be good in chat, ask questions if you're new, like that's such a good thing to tell to new people, is as long as you're active and you have a recruit, even if you're not the highest ranked recruit, but if you're active and you are trying to really learn this league and get into the game, I guess, for lack of a better word, that he was the most heavily recruited quarterback at the beginning of the session.
Yeah, that was what he and I talked a lot about. And he wants to get into coaching, and we have a spot on our staff. So likely once this recruiting window is over and once we head towards the 3-star draft, he'll probably join us on the staff. He's very excited, and the energy that he's bringing, that's kind of what I want. Our locker room for the last 2 seasons has had a lot of ghosts, and we're trying to get away from that. And so having active guys like that, that's what we want.
What's a ghost?
I do have a verbal commitment alert for
all right,
Cleveland Tigers.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right,
we did it last year.
Beard's engaged. All right.
I want to see who it is. That way,
you're going to like this one.
I'm actually not even on the tab with you guys. I'm on a different tab right now. Look at
Former Auburn defensive back Percy King has verbally committed.
We talked about this before the show, right? He was in
Said
on
you better
this
lock
one.
it down too. Good job.
He's going to be a senior next year. This is the second year in a row. I mean, I love it when it happens, when we have guys commit during the show. So congratulations, Logan. So Percy King, I mean, we can pull up his stats real quick.
As it stands right now, he would be the only senior on our roster this upcoming season.
Yeah, because he had all freshmen last year, didn't you?
All but like 3 or 4, and then they all graduated except one.
Yeah.
We'll have 1 junior, 1 senior.
I remember writing about that where it was like, what do I say that Clemson needs in recruiting? I don't fucking know. You guys have like zero things. Like, yeah, they need like depth. They need less 3 stars on the roster. That's what they need. Like, I don't know. Ooh, USC. They're AD DMing me too about something. I might bring that up later.
Nobody likes USC. Keep them out of here.
Oh, Venom has been very funny in chat while we're doing this. It's great. Venom, and then there was another USC guy. Oh, I guess he's not USC anymore. Allen. He made a new halfback, Tank Golden. I guess it's fine to say this on the show. So I asked him, like, hey, who you think you're going to, anything like that, and he goes, I don't know. I like the winless teams. That was his response. So that's his top team.
Hey,
apparently.
There are those recruits out there, and I'll never understand it. And I'm kudos to them for sticking to what they actually want to do. But I've never understood the I want to be a part of a rebuild. I like winning. I can't There's ADs who have these 5-year plans and stuff that they're working on. That
you mean Drake?
I'm not name dropping. I'm not name dropping.
We beat the number 1 team in the country. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, dude, just in the boardroom, it's always year 1 was 2 wins, year 2's 5, year 3's 6 wins. Buddy.
No, year 1 was just to survive the league. Year 2 was 3 wins, and year 4 is 5 wins.
Yeah, I'm not defending Drake or saying he isn't kind of a funny guy or he has some fun stuff he says in the locker room.
One of the funniest guys in the league. He's awesome.
Oh my god! But you can't deny the results, man. I haven't been to a playoff game in almost 10 seasons until this year. That's great.
I mean, all I'm saying is if somebody had stuck with me 1 season, they'd have been in a natty.
Yeah, okay. But you and I both know I would have cursed the team. You would not have gotten that far if I was on that roster.
I'm not cursable.
Your playoff record says otherwise.
That's not that. Just I mean, it is what it is.
I'm just saying, yeah. Let's see. I got a few more. How about actually? We were talking about coaches real quick with A&M. 3 coach recruiting spots open. One of them was actually one of my former teammates. We'll start there. Mac Coop. What is this player's name? It is Jet Sims.
He's on your team. You handed him the ball.
He transferred. I forget everyone's name. I've talked to hundreds of recruits, Beard. Shut up.
Sounds like a Michigan State recruiting right here. Everybody look at that.
I'm not even on the staff either. And he literally is not eligible to come back to us. So go screw yourself. Recruiting coordinator for Texas. UF for life. Oregon defensive tackle going to North Carolina as the head coach. That was a big one. And then Rury back in the game. He's made it a freshman. He's going to be the assistant head coach at Oregon. I think Oregon, a lot of the guys that they're involved with, I think that's Rury. He's a good recruiter. But
well, my thing is that was a shock to me.
What, Oregon? Him going to Oregon?
With him going to Oregon. They got Orlovsky.
Yeah, but they. I don't know. When you go 0-8, I think anything's on the table. Or we'll see.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I want to win too. It's one of those. It's hard. I didn't feel like we had a real good shot at any of the only recruit I felt like coaching recruit we had any good shot with was the defensive tackle. But even then, he wanted an assistant head coach spot, which I didn't have to offer. So it's just always hard to get those high profile, the super high profile running backs. I lucked out and got a high profile running back in this recruiting cycle, but it's always hard to get those high profile running backs because the quarterbacks don't ever have to compete. You're going to go to a team that doesn't have a starting quarterback most of the time, unless you're what's his name? But halfback is such a competition. Everybody really needs to, but it's hard to be hey man, come play with me. You may not get as many touches as this guy, but you're still going to be part of our offense. When somebody else not Clemson right now per se, but somebody like Clemson's hey, I'll give you a starting job. You'll get all of our touches. I mean, that's hard to compete against.
I think actually, ironically, Clemson's got a very good halfback. The team you could use.
Yeah, that's why I picked them.
Oh, Yeah, Michigan State needs a halfback right now. Tennessee, we've talked about them in the competition for a bunch of people. West Virginia, they have a 4-star on the roster. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up another one. But yeah,
We need another one. We're going after a couple.
well, yeah, that too. Well, wait, I mean, you have Felisa Snead on the roster. I would assume you want to start like a 5-star starter, but yeah, the same idea.
Well, we had 2 4-stars last year, and Snead and Crew Walker were a great punch, but we're talking to a 4-star right now who is on board with a quote unquote timeshare, I guess. And we're also talking to a 5-star that is, we've told us like, look, man, you come in, you're gonna be the starter. We got no problem pumping the guy that's in there down.
Yep, that's the other thing is roster management, right? You know, I mean, I had this at Auburn actually with halfbacks. I think it was Kieran Ennis my first year at Auburn. He was a senior transfer, and then I brought in another halfback, and the idea was, you know, we have the senior, give him his last year as the starter, and then the freshman came in and he would be the starter for the rest, you know, the 3 years. And I think he was there until I left too and graduated. And it was a good 1-2 punch, but you got to, you know, man, and halfback's one of the more important ones to do, where you got to, you know, tell the guy, hey, this guy's a senior, you're gonna be a freshman, just 1 year. We're gonna have you as the number 2 guy, and then you'll be the number 1 guy. And then there's teams like USC that use both of them pretty good. Both of their championship teams, they had those 1-2 punch. We've had Cobb on the show with Bishop and Mills and all that, and so good. All right,
Drop some knowledge on us we don't have.
I'm thinking about it. I already talked about Tank Golden and Maverick Berlin. Let's go with. Here's an Auburn guy. Number 20, defensive end Jet Trevor. Auburn is one of his 5 schools he's considering, along with Ohio State, VT, Penn State, USC, and actually I lied. I think he has a 6th. Let me go back. Yeah, 6 is also Florida State. Is a late entrant as well. So have fun with Tom on that one.
How new is that information, Cole, on Jet Trevor?
Like an hour ago. Let me guess. It's completely. You're on it too.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
okay.
That's worth asking.
All the defensive recruits. Yeah.
That information needs to change.
Or he told me who his top schools are, and your information needs to change.
It's gonna be one or the other.
Because
anymore.
the other part of that is these recruits, when I talk to them, you know, I'm just a reporter. I don't give a shit who you say your top schools are. And so if you tell me, and I know, you know, like I would probably know much closer than what some versus if a recruit's kind of dragging you along. I'm just telling you what he told me about an hour ago. So if
You don't report fake news. I know
so that's the other part of that is if I'm saying something and you're talking to him and he's telling you something else, that might be a pause there. Like you might want to DM him again. But no, yeah, it was about an hour ago, so it might have changed. Let's see. Here's another one. This one's fun. Former teammate of mine, Vladimir Antkoviak. State makes great names in this league. He can't go to Auburn, unfortunately, so this one will not be Auburn.
Oh, that's tough.
He has, again, no order particular, LSU, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, and Oklahoma. And I know Michigan State's also going after him. That's one that I've been told by the AD there at Michigan State that they're going after him too. So 5 for sure, plus maybe one more. What do you guys think? Nothing. You don't like State, guys? I thought State was gonna be fan of the year for you guys.
Oh, State. I texted him, I DM'd him, and I was like, look, man, we got 4 linebackers at 85, 86 plus. Is like, as much as I'd love to have you here, you're a great presence that you just won't see the field as much as you'd like. And I texted him, I was just like, are you okay? Like, I know you don't like recruiting. I know it sucks. Just let me know if you need anything.
That's fair.
And that's tough because I need 2. I need linebackers.
Speaking of Florida State, by the way, as well, they, you know, pretty active as usual. One of the better recruiting teams around. The coach is a linebacker. We thought for a bit that Tank would make a quarterback. That obviously changed. They have what is it? Number 2, Bear Michaels, verbaled. They have number 21, Quavius Ball as a coach. That's Tank's player, Tallahassee native. And then D Money, the halfback, going to Florida State. It looks like right now. I have not updated anything. They might have gotten 1 or 2 more. But the favorite recruit, I had a source at FSU tell me the favorite recruit that they want to get today that they are super, super high on. Let me find his actual ranking real quick because it probably changed. It's a late riser. He's actually a former teammate of mine as well. Where is it? There's so many names.
We're all typing, we're all texting.
Yeah, we're all. I'm looking.
I'm over here trying to flip a guy.
Yep. That's the other part too. Is flips coming in this afternoon.
Well,
Which
He
I don't touch
technically
on.
hasn't- He ain't committed yet, but he's close, and it's not to us.
Right. Holy
Strap
crap.
my people.
He may or may not be one of yours.
Oh no, I know who it is. I already told me. They messaged me as soon as you message them.
Oh, who is it?
I'm not disclosing it if you're not. Because we're not the only two.
Okay. So this is a hard name to pronounce, but Florida State's top target for another halfback right now, Adavian Augustin out of Meigs, Ohio. Rusty Films. That's their top target right now at halfback.
I love Rusty.
So
Hard as hell to pronounce that. Go ahead.
So I have some information on that. I know who his top 4 teams are.
Yeah, I think he told me. Well, I know Florida State's up there. What's the other 3?
I bet one of them's Texas A&M.
It's Georgia, Kentucky, and right now it's between Texas A&M and
Yeah,
Florida State.
Florida State.
That's
Yeah,
what he
that
told
makes sense. How about Kentucky, too? Well, go ahead. Sorry.
He said, quote, it's between you and Florida State. So
Yeah, that makes sense. So I haven't touched on this at all. This broke. I think it actually officially for the ADs, you guys knew yesterday, but officially it broke, I think, or 2 days ago, you guys knew, and yesterday the news broke. Kentucky has a new AD.
Yep.
That was, I think it was personal reasons, so I'm not going to get too much into it why he stepped down. But Eugene the Ace, he's actually asked me to be on the show, and I feel bad because I haven't been able to get him on the show yet. But he's the new AD at Kentucky. I haven't heard too much in terms of actual recruits they landed, but also their team is freaking stacked. So I don't know how many players they actually need. Let me check. Yeah, like their team is literally almost full before recruiting started. So not too much to report there. Other than that, there is a new AD and 14R Davis. Oh, you guys want to know where he's going? I forgot about that.
That'd be great because I just DM'd him and he said he's open to listening to me.
This is fun. I like being the agent of chaos. I will say this: it was great being an AD, but being the guy that knows a lot more than everyone else and gets to report this. So if we include A&M, because I'll be nice, the top teams for 14R Davis. This is the one you guys are fighting about. Auburn's up there, Oklahoma, Florida State. They keep showing up. A 5-star wide receiver transfer. He's going to be a hot commodity. There's not a lot of them. West Virginia is another one in Ohio State. Devin Davis on West Virginia feels right because I feel like he stays in Appalachia. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but like that would be a lot of fun to see Frosty throwing passes to Devin Davis.
It would be nice to have Gunnar Rice have a nice receiving weapon again.
Yeah. What about Cobb? We can go to USC too. I got a source from there. He's got the 4-star corner, Caleb Alexander, that verbaled. But not much more. I'm going down the list of anyone I think I passed over. I go over number 19. We talk about number 19. Billy Savage. We have not talked about him. His top 4 is Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, and Colorado. Colorado is a name I've heard a lot today, by the way. A lot of guys that I did not hear about Colorado beforehand. That is a team that I've heard a lot more today. I think that's almost all the guys I have for now, but that could change. Yeah, I don't think I have anyone quite yet. Yeah, and then there's the flips that are coming. We've talked a little bit about the flips. That story I think it's a little bit of smoke from the team that told me this, but someone trying to flip that top quarterback to the SEC, that'd be a shocker because that team has an active quarterback on their roster right now. But you never know. The SEC, it's crazy like that sometimes. And then in transfer portal as well. We talked about Tavon Moss earlier. We talked about what's his name? Akuma Hunter as well. It's going to be interesting for today. And then obviously tomorrow is the official commit date. So I think. Oh,
I
go
thought
ahead.
the official commit date was Monday.
What is it, Monday?
I believe it's Monday at noon.
Monday or Tuesday. I don't know why
Monday.
Tuesday keeps sticking out my brain.
It's Monday.
pull it
Monday at noon.
Monday at noon. Yep, it is Monday.
Which
All
is
right,
great. Everybody's gonna be at work and everybody's gonna be committing.
I mean, I work weekends sometimes. I don't care. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. Yeah, so that's all I have for right now. We might hear more later on the Twitter as the day goes on. But what I will say is, as we move later into this recruiting cycle, it's gonna, barring flips, which obviously happen as well. It feels like we have the set battles. I'm gonna go back up to the top 10 here. So Richard Williams II, I literally have not heard almost anything about the number one recruit in the country.
I have some stuff on it.
Oh, go ahead.
So he's actually our former quarterback. That is
Oh yeah, Dart. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and I were talking all off season about what was he going to remake, and he loved Texas A&M and he wanted to stay. And we explored options to where if he could stay, like if we would protect him as our assistant head coach because he just wanted to be here so much. But ultimately, it didn't happen that way. He told me very early, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to make a halfback is going to be Max." And I was like, "Dude, you're going to have a lot of teams coming after you." And Logan reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, what do you know about him?" And I told him, and then almost immediately after I told him, he's like, "Boom, committed to Penn State." So
sorry, Logan.
It is what it is.
Hey,
We're in good shape. We are in good shape. One of Beard's former guys is on our chart for halfback.
Oh, yeah, I think I know who that is too. So yeah, Bear Michaels we talked about. Cohen James again is Wookiee's player and Berger's Murph's player. So actually, funny enough, I got a little bit of an update. Oh shit! All right, I got two big updates. I love it when I hit refresh. All right, so first off, Allie finally has an offer. The number 4 recruit in the country. I don't know if it's one of you guys.
She hasn't messaged me back.
The number 11 recruit in the country has verbal, and I will report this on the show. JJ Stout, if this holds, will be going to Oklahoma, Zionsville, Indiana native, defensive end. One of the top recruits, I think like top 3 defensive recruit in the country. A huge win for the Oklahoma Sooners, and now his second top 13 recruit, his second top 5 defensive recruit this cycle, if you include Lamar Carr, obviously, who's a coach there. So that is a huge one. And then, I think Taylor already committed to Colorado at number 14 on the list. But yeah, JJ Stout to Oklahoma. I'm gonna put that. We're gonna tweet it right now. Let's tweet it real quick. Recording the show. Number 11 overall. Recruit defensive end is Stout, right? Yeah, let me just make sure I get this is the process, right? You just got to put it on there.
I was working on that one. Didn't work out for me though.
Well, I mean, he had 11 offers. I think everybody was working on him basically that could take him.
Do we have any updates on Babineau?
Ooh, I think I do. Yep. To Oklahoma. Yeah. Yep, and posted. I got some non-CFSL news. Mike Gundy is staying at Oklahoma State. Even though he didn't win a game in the Big 12 this season.
I mean, he's like their king.
Yeah. That came off my phone right as I'm trying to record this. All right. Babineau. I was talking to him earlier. I saw him yesterday. Let me find him. He was also, I think, I guess I'll say this. I posted this on the Twitter of a recruit that had 47 DMs at the opening. That was Babineau.
Yeah,
he
he
was,
said that to me too.
yeah, like he was not having a good time. Let's see. What do
Did
you
he
got?
provide you a top schools list?
He is not yet. Just,
Okay.
If
I
you
haven't
don't
asked him,
already know, it's going to be very similar to another player's. So if you haven't figured that out yet,
I mean, I have an idea of where he might be going, just because I know I've talked to him a bunch before recruiting, but I don't have any like immediate.
What's
Like,
your hunch?
Is he going to you?
I'm not saying that. I mean, he and I, we've been talking. Dude, we need secondary. That's what we need. We lost 2 safeties to graduation. We lost 2 corners that were ghosts.
does that mean you need a line? Does that mean you need a linebacker or a defensive end too?
I mean, we can always upgrade those positions.
So what you're trying to tell me is Babineau's going to verbal to you? Is that what you're kind of trying to?
I'm not saying he's going to verbal to me because I've asked him for top schools, and he says that the only thing he told me last night was that, quote, he is shut down responding to new DMs and new schools, and that 20 teams hit him up. 19 of them were ADs. Only one school that hit him up, the AD did not hit him up.
I feel like I know which team that is too.
Which team is it? Because
Well, so no, the reason I know it is because I talked to that AD and he was like out of the house, and then he gets back, and this was with the quarterback recruits. So Notre Dame, I believe the AD was actually like not home at the for the first hour or so of recruiting, and so he gets back and everything's going on fire. But Notre Dame is involved in a few teams too now. But go ahead.
So that's not the AD that didn't reach out to him.
Oh, who is it?
It was Drake.
Well, really?
Drake
needed quarterback.
Michigan State reached out to him, but Drake did not reach out to him.
Oh, interesting. I thought.
And I mean, you've seen how Babineau and Drake have been jawing in chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That might be why. I thought we needed. Oh no, we don't. That's why. Okay. So I look again. I literally. I am in the group chat for Michigan State recruiting, but I don't. I'm not there. I can't recruit. I'm just there for fun. They just put me in there, just to observe, I guess. The reason we didn't go after him probably is we have 3 guys already, and I think there's a 4th on the way. Plus, we have 3 safeties, and 2 of them are 2 of the best safeties in the league.
Must be nice.
But it's like the one position that he's really, really good at. That and quarterback, because he just got me. But
I'm still salty at you for flipping from us.
1, I did not flip from you. I flipped from Oklahoma State, and then they imploded. But 2, we've been over this on the podcast. Literally, me flipping was the best thing. Flipping was the best thing that happened to you because you got a generational talent that took you to the national championship. So
yeah, 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns is pretty nice.
Like, I don't want to hear it. Like
1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was Stackhouse last season.
Without running Old Dominion, Beard. Okay. Some other teams actually,
I didn't run Old Dominion last year. I ran Arizona State. Thank you. Don't treat me like that.
Do you like the Arizona playbook? That's actually a good question. I mean, you ran it, so obviously you like it, but
I mean, talk about 1,100 yards. I threw for 3,129 touchdowns, and also rushed for almost 1,000. So
that was a receiver we were talking about.
What was my top receiver? I think I spread the ball out too much. I don't think I put any of my receivers in the.
Devin 0, 100%.
Did he? I can't remember.
It's Devin 0. You don't even have
Kade,
to look.
Hey, Cade.
Yeah,
I might have a top 4 from somebody you were talking about earlier.
Babs. You're gonna be in it. You're gonna be in it, Kade.
No, so he told me not to say it, so I'm not going to say it aloud. But I do have a top 4 from him now. That's all I'll say.
Why would he not?
Can you DM me to tell me if I'm in it or not?
No, because it's fun.
Hey, do you not trust your ability?
I love my abilities and I trust my abilities very well. I am a recruiter more than anything, but it is a position of need and I need it.
I don't need him to release it. I know I'm in it.
Look, I'm confident because he was the second person we messaged out.
Don't try to give me the sign up.
I'm just gonna like have this. Oop, he's breaking up. You there, Beard?
He's froze. He's pixelated.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Beard.
What? No. It says I'm perfect. What's wrong with y'all?
I think you're. Oh, it's fixing itself now. So yeah, no, I do have the top 4. He told me not to say it, but I do have it. So that's all I'm gonna say. And there is. How do I put it this way? I'll say this: of those 4 teams, only one of those teams is in the call right now.
Sorry,
That's
Kade.
all I'll say. How do you know it's Kade? How do you know? How do you know it's Kade? That's the part that I think you're a little bit more confident. Oh, he's showing his Discord. This should be interesting. All right. Well, we'll move on, but that's a fun way to do it. This is always the most fun podcast because like it's completely disorganized. We're just running around trying to figure out who's going where, and then I got to edit this too. And it's all on camera and all that too now. So. We've talked about the top 10. Before we get done with the show, I'm going to go down to like the top 150. Well, most of these guys are 3 stars and they won't be eligible. Let me check if there's any down here. Yeah. So for the 3-star draft, I know most of the teams in here are not going to be having a whole bunch of 3 stars to draft. But, well, Ice Trey's back. He's not going to be a 3-star. Where do you guys think he goes?
Whoever has number 1.
You think Notre Dame or who would be the other one? Oregon or whoever take him? I think it would be Notre Dame, right? Would be number 1.
I can't remember if it's Notre Dame or Oregon. It's one of them.
Yeah. Or what was the other one? Tennessee. Oh no, Tennessee won a game.
Yeah, it's Notre Dame or Oregon. I don't know how you break that tie.
I think it's because Notre Dame has less players, but I'm not sure. But I will. So let's back up for a second. I told you guys this before the show, right? We had a bunch of impressions, a bunch of people looking at the Twitter. So it is now up to 3,500 people in 24 hours. Impressions in 24 hours, not people. So my tweets have been looked at 3,500 times. That's crazy. That's so crazy to me. And actually, our YouTube videos had a noticeable spike. Let me find the channel analytics here before we finish this show. Excuse me. No. Analytics on the channel. Oh yeah. So we average, we average like 2 to 5 views a day. And then obviously on release days we get a few views. The last 3 days since we started. I guess we started the Twitter yesterday, but like since I started talking about this show this weekend, we've been averaging 10 views a day. Like it has been a noticeable increase. Yeah, this is great. So I expect this show will be before we finish it here, the probably the largest increase we have in a while. My most viewed video is still, I believe, recruiting, podcast number 4. But hopefully we get over 60 views. Hopefully we get over 70 or 80 views, or even more. I will say, I don't know if I have too much more here. I think, unless you guys have anything to add, I don't know if there's any more breaking news. I'll let you guys get back to recruiting here. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I have for now. But man, it was fun. All right. Oh, nope. That's as soon as I say that. Yeah, he's confirming. I think JJ Stout's confirming to me that he verbal to Oklahoma. Let me just ask him real quick before we get off. Well, you guys, all right. So while you guys are doing this, and while we finish up this show, I think we'll start with Clemson, as he has changed his name on the thing, on the Squadcast.
Free advertising.
You know that doesn't show up on the video, right?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Only us 4 can see that. You're just antagonizing your fellow ADs and reporter.
It's still free advertising.
Go ahead, talk about your team. Tell us why recruits should go to Clemson.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to speak on that. The biggest takeaway, as we talked about a little earlier in the show, as of right now, we are a team full of rising sophomores. We've got one junior and no senior that are presently on our roster. So if you invest in coming to Clemson, and when I say invest in coming to Clemson, it's an investment for yourself and for your player. It's important to know that the success is not going to be a one and done kind of situation. I think a lot of times in the CFSL, we see, a team have one good season. They do a really good job at recruiting one season, and then, it falls apart. That's not going to be the case here. I actually have information now to back some of that up. For example, you'll see teams that have a good season. You'll start to see a lot of graduates, and then all of a sudden you'll start seeing a lot of people drop like flies in the transfer portal. We had one player transfer, so to me that's a testament not only to our eventual success on and off the field, but also where we are going to be in the locker room and how we stand behind each other and support each other. Any given day you see us in the league chat and, some of our viewership, all things considered, we were on the Thursday night slot on YouTube a lot, did have a pretty fair amount of viewership compared to some of our fellow Thursday night YouTube peers. So I think it is important to consider that and know that the Thursday nights on YouTube, no disrespect to it, but it is going to be limited. We're going to eventually be taking over that Auburn spot on Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings as well.
So two things on that. First off, I'm going to just say this from personal experience, both at Auburn and at Michigan State. That Monday slot is not always the best, both as a game player and as just
you can have it.
Yeah, it's not fun. When we played, I think it was USC on that Monday night. I think I actually had 5 heart attacks during that game. I do not need to be on Monday. You can take the Monday night slot. We do not want it. I love Thursday night. And then also, I think we played on Thursday night when we played you guys, right? Clemson, Michigan State. Wasn't that a Thursday night game? I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yes, we played you guys on Wednesday or Thursday night. I mean, we've had plenty of good games on Thursday night. Don't get me wrong. But
it's a fun spot to be in. We had a lot of fun.
I believe it's an underrated spot, and I believe that the individuals within the CFSL view it as such. And I think that's kind of where I'm getting at.
I hear the best broadcasters are on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It was having fun having Dominic Barfield and Justin Duke commentate some of our games. That was good.
A lot of fun. All right.
A big Ryan Moreland fan myself.
He finally didn't win Broadcaster of the Year.
Ammo that he needs.
Oh, that's big robot energy from Beard. What'd you say?
I said, don't give him any more energy or ammo than he needs.
That's fair. All right. Kade, what about you? Why should I go to A&M? Or maybe not. I'm not going to your school, but someone who actually has a brain.
We were 2-6 our first year. We were 9-3 last year. Made it to the national championship. Exceeded every expectation that the league set for us. We graduated 3 seniors last year. We're graduating 2 this year. So the window is open now. The window will be open in the future, and we're not going anywhere. I'm tired of people looking at A&M like the old A&M, and it's not that administration. We're here to stay. We're here to win week 1 games against Michigan State, and we're here to get the recruits.
I've said this in league chat. If Mike, and he's going to do it, if Mike gives us A&M again, I think I might actually die a little inside. Not because I don't think we can win that game. It would be a good game, but because Mike has a sick sense of humor, and he knows how to make all of us suffer.
Hey, it's not suffering for me. I've been 1-0 2 years in a row on week 1.
Right, yeah, that's what USC and Venom like to say before they played us this year too. You can trash talk at your own. I'm not the big trash talker on that team anyway. I'm the guy that likes to just mess around in the locker room. But I would be careful about trash talking Drake. He gets out of here.
Me and Drake have been trash talking since last season's week 1, since season 20 week 1.
You guys have been trash talking since before Michigan State was a thing. Let's be honest.
Exactly. I was about to say, I think Drake's week 1 wish list is like every school in the CFSL at this point.
I want Auburn. I want Texas A&M. I want all these. Buddy, you get one.
You get to pick. You don't get to even pick, but you get one.
Yeah. I will say I do feel bad for Tennessee last year because after that game, I basically walked into Drake's office like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your settings, and I was like, here, try this, test it, and then we murdered Tennessee, like absolutely destroyed them. We committed war crimes against Tennessee that I don't wish on anyone. All right, cool. One more to go. Beard, talk about your school. Why should I go to Auburn, even though I already play for you, or not you?
I
But
mean,
that school.
there's always a lot of what I've done in the past, comments and talk about, I did this or I did that. That's great. Auburn's done all that too. Don't come someplace don't go someplace that you don't want to be. Don't let the emotion of, hey, I've won 16 regular season games in a row. I went to the Natty 2 seasons ago. I went to the playoffs last season. All that's great and everything. But ultimately, it's an experience. You got to go somewhere where you fit in with the group, you have a good time, and you really just enjoy what you're doing. Because there's so much more to this than just the one night a week you play. And if you're just buying in to win games, you might go someplace and win some games. But when you don't win that natty, it's going to be super painful and you're going to hate it. Whereas it was painful when we didn't win, but you can ask Wetzel and all them that were there. We were still 100% bought in on Auburn. We were 100% a team. We're 100% a family. And I mean, if you can't see that transfer, I mean, there's a reason we jokingly call Clemson Auburn Light. And it's not the fact that it is the fact they get a bunch of Auburn players, but it's not a slight against Clemson. Wetzel made a bunch of great relationships when he was here. And so those guys want to keep playing inside this family. So if you want to go somewhere where you can just win games, there's tons of schools that can get you some wins. If you want to go somewhere where you feel like you are part of something bigger than that and you're a family and we have fun and we do podcasts and we do fantasy football and we do all this other stuff, come to Auburn. I mean, it's up to you. Make the choice.
All good. All right, yeah, so J.J. Stout has committed, by the way, to Oklahoma. He just confirmed that to me. Not that we didn't know that already, but that is officially on the
We also have pizza.
Pizza. It's great. So
I mean, this whole podcast, man, I got to eat sometime.
Yep. Hey, it's been an hour. I don't have too much more. But again, I'd like to thank all of you guys for jumping on. Let me just make sure. La la la. Of course, right as we're about to finish this. Oh boy.
You have something to share with the class?
Oh, neat.
I have 4 things I want to share with the class. That's how many people just an hour and 2 minutes into this show.
It's 48 minutes. It's 48 degrees outside. I can't go play golf till it gets to at least 55. So, come on.
Not bad attitude.
It's cold and wet outside, so I'm just gonna go play some college football in a minute. So let's share some information.
Okay, la la la. Let me find this player's name.
Because there we go. Okay. There we go. There's the message I was waiting for. There's the guy that I was waiting to text me.
He just not text you?
The guy that this is one of the guys that we're going the hardest after. I guess he says we're super high up on his list, but I guess he just woke up.
Okay.
What position is that player, Kade? Because somebody just texted me too.
I don't know what it was, but as soon as we're finishing this up, I had 40 in. Let me go through this real quick. Let me see. All right, the number 50 recruit this guy is literally the OC of Ohio State. Why are you? Tyree is like trying to tell me, oh, yep, Smoky Woods to Ohio State. Buddy, you're the coach there. We all know where you're going. Wide receiver, Smoky Woods verbals right at the end of the show. And then I got 2 more for you. Let me see what they say here. That's funny to me. Yep, no, big surprise. Tyree going to Ohio State. Who would have known? You're the OC. Come on, man. Come on. I'm going to rag him on the show here just because it's the end here, and he's trying to tell me. I got Nate Snare and Blake Radloff. Who's Radloff's player again?
Noah Radloff.
Noah Radloff, yeah.
But I know where Noah Radloff's going.
Oh, is he the guy that's texting you, Kade?
May or may not be.
Well, he's got you on his top 4. You like one of the other 3?
I'd love to.
Because I've been talking about 2 of these teams the whole podcast of guys that are very active today, and again they are active here. His top 4.
I don't know where you are, Wetzel, but you're somewhere in this area.
Oh my God, no, that's
You
me.
see
At
it?
least on my screen. Yeah, I don't. His top 4, no particular order: A&M, Oregon, and Colorado, who I've been talking about, and Michigan is the other one.
Okay.
So that's we'll end the show on that.
No.
Hey, you
Clemson
said
not included.
you had another.
Clemson's
Yeah.
Clemson's
So
not included.
Radloff and I talked about you, Logan.
I'm sure y'all did. It was, yeah. It's not over.
Yeah, that's oh no. I love this.
It's
Dude, I
not
love
over.
this. This is the best podcast of the season when I get to break AD's hearts alive on air.
You
Or not
said
live, but-
you said you had some information on a one Nate Snare.
I do, but he's just said, "When do you need the answer by?" And I'm like, "Dude, we're finishing the show." So he's texting me right now, but I don't know. I might like end the show and just not tell you guys. It'd be kind of fun.
Well, he may or may not be another one that we're talking to.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's a cornerback. You guys need a corner. I would assume you are talking to him, but the question is who else he is.
We're talking to like 7 different corners right now.
I'm
okay?
just going to put the assumption in there that if it's a cornerback, you guys are going after them. That's I think at this point. I would anticipate. I don't know. See, I'm trying to guess here. He hasn't texted back, so I'm going to end the show, and he'll text me as soon as we end the show, of course, and then we'll know. Let's see. Okay, that's going to be it then. I'm just going to end it there. We're at
Don't you have
hour
one more?
6. I had Stout. I had Tyree.
That was earlier. I guess.
Well, no, he just
Stout-
confirmed.
Oh, wait.
Nate
He
I thought we
just
knew that
confirmed.
already, though.
Well, he confirmed he was a lock too. I guess he's like not flipping. I guess or whatever. Nate Snare and then fucking Tyree. Yeah. Oh man, big thing to know is that he's going to Ohio State.
Going to the school he coaches at.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Huge news, everybody.
Yeah, he's like Smoky Woods, OSU. I mean, congrats, but also like I'm not putting that on my Twitter. Like we know where you're going already.
Ooh, Frankie picked up her second offer.
Wait, were you that second offer?
No, I was not.
Wow, look at that. Look at the thing that I did.
No, wait, it wasn't me.
I will figure that out. I'm more and hey, the Twitter was great. It's going great, guys. I'm gonna keep up reporting today and tomorrow and Monday and all that. We will see where it goes. That is all from me. I'd like to again thank the Auburn AD Justin Duke, the Texas A&M AD Kade Padgett, and the Clemson AD Logan Wetzel, who are all texting furiously now as we get this done. Good luck in recruiting, guys. Good luck to all the ADs out there. I know this week has kind of been crazy. And that one I'll put on the Twitter. That's another recruit. But I'm not going to let you guys know who that is yet. That's all for me, guys. And thank you again to our guest. I'm going to end it here. Hopefully, make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter/X, all that fun jazz. What a show, guys. Always a pleasure to have you here. So that's all I got for me. And all that's done. All right. Enjoy recruiting, guys. That's it. Bye-bye.
See ya.